Hello dear traders, welcome to IC Markets. You are watching weekly market overview by IC Markets. Let's start. The Swiss franc and the euro are the two best performers of the previous week, having strengthened against the dollar by 0.6% and 0.4% respectively. The British pound was unable to maintain the positive momentum and ended this week with a result of 0.3%. However, much more pressure experienced the Japanese yen having lost 1%, the Canadian dollar having dropped by 1.6%, and the Australian dollar having slid 1.7% lower. The US dollar index added 0.1% in a mixed week. Overall, the previous week confirmed signs of economic recovery in Europe. PMI indices, GDP data from the largest countries in the region still beat forecasts. And probably both the euro and the pound would have continued a 6-week rally if not expectations of QE tapering by the Fed. That intention was confirmed by the minutes of FOMC, published last Wednesday. When the tapering will exactly start is not known yet for sure. But the economic trends of recent months allow saying with a sufficiently high probability that the first steps in this direction can be taken in September. This week may become another stage for expectation battle and uncertainty before the key payrolls report is released on September 6th. However, this week will have a lot of interesting events as well. On Monday, durable goods orders in the United States will be released. On Tuesday, Consumer Confidence Index from the states will also be published. On Thursday, the report on unemployment in Germany as well as the figures for inflation will be published. Later that day, the data on US GDP for the second quarter will be released. On Friday, we are waiting for the data on inflation in Japan and in Eurozone, as well as for the GDP data for the second quarter from Canada. According to the last report of the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, futures market participants reduced a further net long speculative positions on the US currency. Net long speculative position on the euro increased, which at the moment seems to us somewhat excessive. However, significant net short speculative positions on the Japanese yen, the Australian dollar and the British pound are maintained. Last week, major changes were observed only in the positioning on the European currency, which has set a new 6-month high against the US dollar. Returning to the short-term picture, we note that although large-scale appreciation of the dollar, which we are still waiting for in the second half of the year, has not yet started, the decline in value of the US currency has currently stalled. Markets await more clarity in further actions of the Fed and the August employment report in particular. Taking into account the high likelihood of reducing QE in September, we do not expect substantial depreciation of the dollar this week, unless of course something extraordinary happens. On the contrary, any fall will be evaluated for taking possible long positions on the greenback, taking into account the proximity of the major currency pairs to important strategic support and resistance levels. Thus, the euro-dollar was again at the upper boundary of the semi-annual range, at the level 1.34. We continue believing that further growth of the pair would require much more consistent signs of recovery in the Eurozone, and most importantly, the refusal of the Federal Reserve to reduce purchases in September. The pair pound-dollar also met resistance at 1.57, and now we can even observe some preliminary sell signals. The dollar-yen continues to consolidate above 98. We believe that soon it may break the descending resistance line and retest the mark of 100. You are watching weekly market overview by IC Markets. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us every Tuesday. Goodbye.